My Betty be hardy soon?
Out of here.
My Betty not gonna die.
Out of my sight! Out of my... Oh my God. God help me. Betty. Child, dear child. Will you not wake? Will you open your eyes? Betty. Little one.
Uncle? Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Let her come, let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
He bid me tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir. He have been searching his books since he left you, sir. But he bid me tell you that you might look to unnatural things for the cause of it.
No. There be no unnatural causes here. Tell him I have sent to Reverend Hale of Beverly, and he will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine and put out all thought of unnatural causes here. There be none.
Aye, sir. He bid me tell you.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir. I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor is packed with people.
And what shall I say to them? That my daughter and niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. Let you tell them I confess to it, and I'll be whipped for it if I must be. But they're talking witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me.
Uncle,
What did you do with her in the forest?
we did dance, and when you leapt out of the bush so suddenly, Betty took fright and she fainted. That's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down.
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look you, child. Your punishment will come in its time. But if you have trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it now, for surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
We never conjured any spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? Okay, this child is desperate. It must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Tell me what you have done there. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I have heard of it, Uncle.
There is a faction that has sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Then now, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is found to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the
It
forest,
was sport,
and I...
sir.
You call this sport? Abigail, if you know something that may help the doctor, for God's sake, tell it to me. I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came on you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screeching and a gibberish coming from her mouth. She were swaying like a dumb beast over
She
that
always
fire.
sings her Barbados songs and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. I saw a dress lying on the grass.
A dress?
Aye, a dress. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail. And I pray you feel the weight of truth upon you, for now my ministry's at stake. My ministry, and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you have done there, give it all to me now. For I dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more to it. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, I have fought 3 long years here to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, just now, when some good respect is rising for me in the church, you compromise my very character. I have given you a home, child. I have put clothes upon your back. Now give me upright answer. Your name in the village. It is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I'm sure it is. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there no other reason than you have told me for your being discharged from Goody Proctor's services? I have heard it said, and I tell you as I heard it, that she comes so rarely to church this year, for she will not sit so close to something soiled.
She hates me. She must, for I would not be her slave. She is a lying, cold, sniveling woman, and I will not work for such a woman.
She may be. And yet it has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their house, and in all that time no other family has ever called on your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them. Do you begrudge my bed, Uncle?
No. No.
My name is good in the village. I will not have it said my name is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar.
No, I cannot have... Oh, why? Goody Putnam. Come in.
It is a marvel. It is truly a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it is not.
How
a
high
stroke
did
of
she
hell.
fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Well, it's sure that she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn and come down light as a bird, he says.
Now look you, Goody Ann. She never flew, and that... Oh, good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's out?
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them, forked and hoofed.
Oh, pray not. Why? How does Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open, and she walks, and hears not, and sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly?
A precaution only. He has much experience in all demonic art.
He has indeed, and found a witch in Beverly last year. Let you remember that.
Goody Ann, they only thought that were a witch, and I'd be certain there'd be no element of witchcraft here.
No witchcraft. Now look you, Mr. Paris,
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft. You least of all, Thomas, whatever wish so disastrous a charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such corruption in my house.
Mr. Paris, I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but I cannot if you hold back in this. There are vengeful, hurtful spirits laying hands on these children.
But Thomas, you can...
Anne, tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in this earth. Believe me, sir, you had never seen more hardy babies born. And yet each would wither the very night of their birth. I've spoke nothing, but my heart has clamored intimations. And now this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become, and shrivels as if a sucking mouth were at her life too. That is why I thought to send her to your Tituba,
To Tituba? What may Tituba
She
do?
knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Oh, Goody Ann, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul. But who else may surely tell us who murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris, and mark this as proof. Mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb except some powerful darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits in the forest last night. Oh, Abigail. What proper payment for my charity? Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house? In my house, Thomas? They will trample me with this. They will make of it a game.
Pardons? I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who is with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She gave a powerful sneeze before.
There's a sign of life.
I'd fear no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Will you leave me now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down and tell...
No. No. I have no answer for that crowd down there. I'll wait till Mr. Hale arrives. If you will, Goody Ann.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come down, speak with them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you will pray with them.
I'll lead them in a psalm. But let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I've had enough contention since I came here. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth now, did you hear?
Aye, Mum.
If she makes for the window, call for me at once.
I will, sir.
There be a terrible power in her arms today.
How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish, I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty, wake up! Betty, stop this!
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one and it waked her for a minute. Here, let me have her.
No, they'll be coming up soon. Okay, now listen. If they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told them as much already.
Aye. And what more?
They know Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's sister to come out of the grave.
And what more?
They saw you naked.
Jesus.
What do we do? The village is out. I just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
She means to tell. I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
I never done none of it. I only looked.
Oh. You're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand, peeping courage you have.
Betty. Betty, dear. It's Abigail. Wake up. I'll beat you. My, you seem improving. Now, listen. I talked to your papa and I told him everything, so there's nothing for you to worry about.
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mom is dead and buried.
I'll fly to Mama. Let me fly.
He knows everything now. I told him he knows.
You drank blood, Abby. You didn't tell him that.
You will never say that again. You will never say that again.
You did. You did. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife.
Shut it! I said shut it! Now look, you. All of you. We danced, and Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters, and that's all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word, or the edge of a word about the other things, I will come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I will bring with me a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads in the pillow next to mine, and I have seen some reddish work done at night, and I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now you sit up and stop that.
What's got her? Abby, she's gonna die. It's a sin to conjure and we...
I say shut it, Mary Warren.
Oh. I'm just going home, Mr. Proctor.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why shall I pay you? I'm looking for you more often than my cows.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
Oh, I'll show you a great doing on your arse one of these days. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
Gad, I'd almost forgotten how strong you are, John Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
She's only gone silly somehow.
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leapt in on us. She took fright, is all.
Aw, you're wicked yet, aren't you? You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
No, Abby, that's done with.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly. I know you better.
I've come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
I am waiting for you every night, John.
Abby, I never give you hope to wait for me.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house, and how you sweat like a stallion when I come near. Or did I dream that? It's she who put me out. You cannot pretend it were you. I saw your face when she put me out. You loved me then, and you love me now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things, but not so wild, I think. I have seen you since she put me out. I have seen you nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 month.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. I can feel you looking up, burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you never look up at my window?
I may have looked up.
And you must. Oh, I know you, John. I know you. You are no wintry man. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I wake up and I walk through the house as though you'd come through some door and...
Child.
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched Abby.
But we did.
But we did not.
I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife...
Oh, you'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. You let her turn you like you're...
Do you look for whipping?
I look for the John Proctor who took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what pretense Salem was. I never knew the lying lessons I was taught by these Christian women and their covenanted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. Pity me, John. Pity me. Betty.
What's wrong with her? Girl, what ails you? Stop that wailing.
Betty!
What's going on? What are you doing to her?
She heard...
Betty!
She heard the psalm and suddenly she's up and screaming.
The psalm! The psalm! She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name!
Oh, God forbid! Mercy! Run to the doctor! Tell him what's happened here!
Mark it for a sign! Mark it!
This is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot, Goody Nurse. A prodigious sign.
That's what my mother told me. When they can't bear to hear the name of the...
Go to her! We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's.
There is hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please to keep the quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify that I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies.
Man, be quiet now.
What have you done?
What do you make of it, Rebecca?
Goody nurse, will you go to my Ruth and see if you can wake her?
I think she'll wake in time. Pray. Calm yourselves. I have 11 children and I am 26 times a grandma. And I have seen them all through their silly seasons, and when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still and, for love, it will soon itself come back.
Aye, that's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered. She cannot eat. Perhaps she is not hungered yet. I hope you are not decided to go in search of loose spirits, Mr. Paris. I've heard promise of that outside.
There's a wide opinion running in the parish. There's a wide opinion running in the village that the devil may be among us. I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Did you call a meeting with the wardens before you called this minister to come look for devils?
No, he is not coming to look for devils.
Then what's he coming for?
There be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying. And this society will not be a bag for you to swing around your head, Mr. Putnam. Did you call a meeting before
I am sick of meetings. Cannot a man turn his head without he have a meeting?
He may turn his head, but not to hell.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think it best you send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. This will set us all to arguing again in the society, and we thought to have peace this year. I think we ought to rely on the doctor now, and good prayer. Rebecca, the doctors are baffled. If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There is prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this province. Yet I have 1 child left of 8, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that. But I must. You should think it's God's work. You never lose a child, nor grandchild either, but I bury all but 1. There are wheels within wheels in this village, fires within fires.
When Reverend Hale arrives, you will proceed to search for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command, Mr. Paris. We vote by name in this society, not by acreage.
I never heard you worried so on this society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at Sabbath meeting since snow flew.
I have trouble enough without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. Take it to heart, Mr. Paris. There are many others who stay away from church these days because you hardly mention God anymore.
Now that's a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children.
I do not preach for children, Rebecca. It is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations toward this ministry.
Are there really those unmindful?
Why, I should say the better half of Salem Village.
And more than that.
Where is my firewood?
Ugh.
My contract provides I be supplied with all my firewood. I am waiting since November for a stick. And even in November, I had to show my hands like some frostbitten beggar.
You are allowed £6 a year to buy wood, Mr. Paris.
I regard that £6 as part of my salary. I'm paid little enough without I spend £6 on firewood.
60 plus 6 for firewood.
The salary is £66, Mr. Proctor. I am not some preaching farmer with a book under his arm. I am a graduate of Harvard College.
Aye, and well instructed in arithmetic.
Mr. Corey, you will look far to find a man of my kind at £60 a year. I am not used to this poverty. I left a thrifty business in the Barbados to serve the Lord. I do not fathom it. Why am I persecuted here? I cannot offer up one proposition but be met with a howling riot of argument. I have often wondered if the devil be in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Parrish, you are the first minister ever to demand the deed to this house. You can't just...
Man! Don't a minister deserve a house to live in?
To live in, yes. But to ask for ownership is like you shall own the meeting house itself. The last meeting I were at, you spoke so long on deeds and mortgages, I thought it were an auction.
I want a mark of confidence is all. I am your third preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted.
Aye.
There is either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can we speak 1 minute without we land in hell again? I'm sick
Not
of
for you
hell.
to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What? Are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor. And you may tell that to your followers.
My followers.
There is a party in this church. I am not blind. There is a faction and a party.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why, then I must find it and join it.
He does not mean
You
that.
confessed it now.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority.
No, you cannot break charity with your minister. You are another kind, John. Clasp his hand, make your peace.
I have crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find this party. He says there's a party.
My opinion of this man has changed, John. Mr. Parris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind what the trouble be among us all these years. Think on it. Wherefore is everybody suing everybody else? Think on it. It is a deep thing and dark as a pit. Why, I've been in court 6 times this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're getting old, Giles, and you're not here in this world as you did.
John Proctor. Just last month, I collected £6 damages for you publicly saying that I burned the roof off your house.
I never said no such thing, but I've paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Now come along, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask you?
My lumber, from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It is in my bounds, Mr. Proctor.
In your bounds? I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that all land
your
between the
grandfather
river...
had a habit of willing things that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
That's God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he set his name to it. Let's get your lumber home, John. I feel the sudden will to work coming on.
You load 1 oak of mine and you will fight to drag it home.
Aye, and we'll win, Putnam. This fool and I.
I'll have my men on you, Corey. I'll clap a writ on you.
Pray you, someone take these.
Mr. Hale. Oh, it is good to see you again. Why they're heavy.
They must be. They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It's strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We've all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this gentleman, sir? Mr. Thomas Putnam and his good wife Anne.
Putnam? I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
It does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We seek to have you come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too.
Her soul. Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps, and yet she walks.
She cannot eat.
Cannot eat. Do you men have afflicted children?
No, these are farmers. John Proctor.
He don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come, Giles?
No, John, I think not. I have a few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I've heard you to be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you'll leave some of it in Salem.
Will you take a look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly.
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That is a sure sign of witchcraft afloat.
No. Now, let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The mark of his presence is definite as stone, and I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me should I find no bruise of hell upon her.
It is agreed. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warning of this strangeness?
Well, sir, I discovered her and my niece and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it were secret.
Mr. Paris's slave knows of conjuring, sir.
Now, Goody Ann, we cannot be
I know
sure.
it, sir. I sent my child. She learned from Tituba who murdered her sisters.
Goody Ann, you sent a child to conjure up the dead?
Let God blame me, not you. Not you, Rebecca. I will not have you judging me anymore. Is it natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
Seven dead in childbirth.
Aye.
What book is that?
What's there, sir?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands stripped of all of his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your incubi and succubi, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your wizards of the night and of the day. Have no fear now. We shall find him if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he shows his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she's truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I'm too old for this.
Why, Rebecca, we may open up the boil of all our troubles here today.
Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean to go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come now, Mr. Hale. Let's get on. Sit you here.
Mr. Hale, I have always wanted to ask a learned man. What be the significance of the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot say. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. You see, I have waked many a time at night and found her in a corner reading of a book. What do you make of that?
Why, that's not necessarily...
It discomforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers. And she closed her book and leave the house, and mark this, I could pray again.
The stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'll speak further on that with you.
I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I'd admire to know what books she's reading and why she hides them from me. She'll not answer me, you see?
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now mark me. If the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please, to keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty, dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. I've come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly?
How can it be the devil? Why would he choose my house to strike? We have all manner of licentious people in the village.
What victory would the devil have to win a soul already bad? It is the best the devil wants. And who is better than the minister?
That's deep, Mr. Paris. Deep, deep.
Betty. Answer Mr. Hale. Betty.
Does someone afflict you, child? It may not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others comes to you. Perhaps a pig, a mouse, or any beast at all. Does some figure bid you fly? In nomine Domini sabuit, si felic, et ad infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say, sir, that I saw a kettle on the grass where they were dancing.
That were only soup.
What sort of soup were in the kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils and...
Mr. Paris, you did not notice, did you, any living thing in the kettle? A mouse, perhaps? A spider? A frog?
I do believe there was some movement in the soup.
No, that jumped in. We never put it...
What jumped in?
A little frog came and it jumped...
A frog, Abby?
Abigail, it may be your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him Tituba. Tituba...
She called the devil?
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Goody Ann, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling below the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty! Betty! Wake up!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in the kettle?
No, she did not.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink?
She tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I didn't sell myself. I'm a good girl. A proper girl. She made me do it. She made Betty do it.
Abby!
She makes me drink blood.
Blood?
My baby's blood?
No, chicken blood. I gave she chicken blood.
Woman, are you enlisting these children for the devil?
No, sir. I don't truck with no devil.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
I love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit out upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sends her spirit on me in church. She's always making me laugh during prayer.
She have often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You beg me to conjure. She begged me make charm.
Don't lie. She comes to me while I sleep, and she's always making me dream corruptions.
Why would you say that, Abby?
Sometimes I wake up in the open doorway, not a stitch on my body, and I hear her laughing in my sleep. She's always singing her Barbados songs and tempting me
Mr.
with...
Reverend, I never...
Tituba, I want you to wake this child.
I have no power on this child, sir.
You most certainly do, and you will free her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact with no devil.
You will confess yourself, or I will take you out and whip you to your death, Tituba.
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
No, don't hang Tituba. I tell him I don't desire to work with him, sir.
And you saw him. Now, Tituba, I know when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break from it. We are going to help you tear yourself free.
Mr. Reverend, I do believe someone else bewitching these children.
Who?
I don't know, sir, but the devil got him numerous witches.
Does he? Tituba, come, look into my eyes. Come, look into me. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
I, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these little children.
Oh, yes, sir. I don't desire to hurt little children.
And you love God, Tituba.
I love God with all my being.
Now, in God's holy name,
Bless him, bless him.
and in his glory,
Eternal glory, bless him, bless God.
open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you.
Oh, bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps someone in the village, someone you know.
Who comes with him?
Sarah Good. Did you ever see Sarah Good with him? Or Osborne?
Was it man or woman came with him?
Man or woman? Was a woman.
A woman? What woman? A woman, you said? What woman?
It was black and dark and
You could see him. Why could you not see her?
Well, there was always talking. There was always running around and carrying on.
Out of Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Tituba, you must not fear to tell us who they are. Do you understand? We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not?
Oh, I do, sir.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side, and we will bless you, Tituba.
Oh, God bless you, Mr. Hale.
You are God's instrument placed in our hands to help discover the devil's agents among us. You are selected, Tituba. You are chosen to help cleanse our village. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
Oh, God, protect Tituba.
Who comes to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4. There was 4.
Who? Their names.
Oh, how many times he bid me to kill you, Mr. Paris.
Kill me?
He say Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris, no goodly man. Mr. Paris, mean man, no gentle man. And he bid me to raise out of my bed and cut your throat. But I tell him no, I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he say, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear and put you way up high in the air, and you gon' fly back to Barbados. But I tell him, you lie, devil, you lie. And one stormy night he came to me and he say, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look and I see Goody Good.
Sarah Good?
Aye, sir. And Sarah Osborne too.
I knew it. Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. And I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne because I feared her. My baby's always shriveled in her hands.
Take courage. You must tell us all their names. How can you bear to see her suffering? Look at her, Tituba. Look at her God-given innocence. Her soul is so tender. We must protect her. The devil is out and preying on her like a beast upon the flesh of a pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him and I wrote in his book, but I go back to God now. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil.
I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howe with the devil.
She speaks! She speaks!
Glory to God! It is broken! They are free!
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil.
I saw Goody Sibbert with the devil.
I saw Alice Barrow with the devil.
Let the marshal bring
Jacobs
irons!
with the devil.
I saw Goody Hawkins with the devil.
I saw Goody Bibber with the devil.
I saw Goody Booth with the devil.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
We're planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then?
Hi, the farm is seated. Boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh. Is it? Jonathan's trap.
No. I found her in the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she come to visit.
That's a good sign, walking in.
Pray God. Almost hurt my heart to strip her. Poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender.
All right. I think we'll see green fields soon. Swarmer's blood beneath the clods.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy George Jacobs' heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
This farm's a continent when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
Must be.
You ought to bring some flowers in here.
Oh, I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday, let you come with me. And we'll walk the farm together. I never see such a load of flowers on the earth. Lilac has a purple smell. Lilac is the smell of nightfall, I think. Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
Aye, it is.
I think you're sad again. Are you?
You come so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I have thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault, Elizabeth. You are the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
That mouse frightened you, Elizabeth. You...
It is a mouse no more.
I forbid her go, and she raises her chin up at me like the daughter of a prince and says, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
It is a proper court they have now. They've sent 14 judges out of Boston, she says. Weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head of them sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And they'll be tried. And the court have power to hang them too, she says.
Ah, they'd never hang them for...
Deputy governor promise hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She speak of Abigail, and I thought you were a saint to hear her. Abigail brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part for her like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them, and if the girls scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person is clapped in the jail for bewitching them.
Oh. It is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them that it is a fraud.
Ah, it is surely. It's...
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well, and tell him what she said to you in her uncle's house last week. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good, then let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone, aye.
Why, then it is not as you told me.
For a moment, I say, the others coming soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I will not have your suspicion any more.
I have no.
I will not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to her, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look, you...
I see what I see, John.
You will judge me no more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvements before you go to judge your husband anymore. I have forgot Abigail and spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have not moved from there to there without I think to please you. I cannot speak, but I am doubted. Every moment judged for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
You are not open with me, John. Oh. You saw her with a crowd, you said, and now you...
I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am only...
No more! I should have roared you down when you first told me your suspicion. But I wilted. And like a Christian, I confessed. Confessed! Some dream I must have mistaken you for God that day. But you're not. You're not, and let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you, John. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John, only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I'm sick. I'm sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, pray hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I am in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what are these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house, as you are paid £9 a year to do, and my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. We had to sit long hours in the chair, and I passed the time with sewing.
Oh, why, thank you. It is a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Yes, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true? There be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There'll be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say? The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her, he must. But not Sarah Good. For Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confess? To what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down and we all must worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near choked us all to death.
How? Choked you?
He sent her spirit out.
Oh, Mary, surely you...
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come to court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman. For she sleep in ditches and so very old and poor. But then she sit there, denying and denying, and I feel a misty coolness climbing up my back, and I feel the skin on my skull begin to creep, and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice. Never my voice. And all at once I remembered everything she's done to me.
Why? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she'd come to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this. Whenever I turned her away, she mumbled.
Mumbled. Why, she may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor. Last month, on Monday, I think, she walked away, and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Why, I think I do, but...
And so I told that to Judge Hathorne, and he asked her so. Sarah Good, says he. What cursed you mumbled that this poor girl must fall sick after turning you away? And then she replied, Why, Your Excellence, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
Aye, and that is an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hathorne says, recite first your commandments. And of all 10, she cannot say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must, when she condemned herself.
But the proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof. Hard as rock, the judges said.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I will be gone every day now. I am amazed you do not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail for some time, and here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman is near to 60.
They had Dr. Grace examine her, and she's full to the brim. And smoking a pipe all these years, but no husband either? She's safe, thank God. Well, they'll not hurt the innocent child. Be that not a marvel? You must see it, sir. It's God's work we do. So, I will be gone every day for some time. I'm an official of the court, they say, and
I'll officially.
I'll not stand for whippings anymore.
Mary, promise now that you'll stay at home.
The devil's loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must discover where he's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of you.
I saved her life today.
I'm accused.
Somewhat mentioned. But I said I never see no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing as I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law, I cannot tell. I only hope you'll not be so sarcastic no more. 4 judges and the king's deputy sat to dinner with us but an hour ago. I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
Oh, the noose is up.
There'll be no news.
She wants me dead, John. I knew all week that it would come to this.
They have dismissed it. You heard her say that they've.
And what of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Sit you down.
She wants me dead, John. You know it.
I say sit down. Now we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it were all sport.
John, with so many in the jail, more than Cheever's help is needed now, I think. Would you favor me this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. And there is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on that now. I know she does, and thinks to kill me, then take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. There be 1,000 names, why does she call mine? And there be a danger in calling such a name. I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne, drunk and half-witted. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you? What see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she so near.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 month.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, break it, John, break it.
Good then. I'll go.
Oh, how unwillingly.
I will curse her hotter than the oldest cinder in hell. But pray, begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only
Woman, am I so base? Do you truly think me base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge such a promise on me? A promise that a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl.
Then why do you anger when I bid you break it?
Because it speaks deceit and I am honest. But I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth. I see now that your spirit twists around a single error of my life, and I will never tear it free.
You will tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife or none at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening.
Oh.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it is only that I heard no horse.
You are Goodwife Proctor?
Aye, Elizabeth.
I hope you are not off to bed yet.
No, no. We are not used to visitors after dark. But you are welcome here. Will you sit down, sir?
I will. Let you sit, good wife Proctor.
Will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach. I have some further traveling yet tonight. Sit you down, sir. I shall not keep you long, but I do have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No. I come of my own, without the court's authority. Hear me. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us, and we are entirely amazed.
I'm a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance, I find it hard to draw a clear opinion on them that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon, and now tonight, I go house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's, and
Rebecca's charged?
God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You'll never believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
You surely cannot think so.
These are strange times, mister. No man may longer doubt that the powers of the dark are gathered in murderous attack upon this village. There's too much proof now to deny it. You will agree, sir.
I have no knowledge in that line, but I think it hard to believe that such a pious woman be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such good prayer.
The devil is a wily one. You cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house, if you will permit me.
Why, we have no fear of questions, sir.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you are rarely in church on Sabbath day.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
26 times in 17 months, I must call that rare. Will you tell me why you are so absent?
Mr. Hale, I never knew I must account to that man whether I come to church or stay at home. My wife were sick this winter.
So I am told, but you, mister, why could you not come alone?
I would surely come when I could, and when I could not, I would pray in this house.
Your house is not a church, sir. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, sir, it does. It also tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Since we built the church, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know, and a sweeter hand never touched the metal. But Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I labor the earth, from dawn of day to blink of night, and I tell you, sir, when I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir. It hurt my prayer. I think sometimes the man dreams cathedrals and not clapboard meeting houses.
And yet, mister, on Sabbath day, a Christian must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 children?
Aye, boys.
How comes only 2 are baptized?
I like not that Mr. Parrish should lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must tell you, sir, that is not for you to decide. The man's ordained. Therefore, the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, I have no...
I nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
Oh, did you? That's a good sign, then.
I may have been too quick to bring the man to book, but surely you cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that's on your mind, is it not?
There is a softness in your record, sir. A softness.
I think perhaps we have been too hard on Mr. Paris. I think so. But sure, we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I'm sure I do, sir.
Let you repeat them now, if you will.
The commandments.
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day. Keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt bear no false witness. And thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
You've said that one twice, sir.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it'd be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house, mister.
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Mr. Hale? I think you are suspecting me somewhat, are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
John, I think you must tell him.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no witness for it, and cannot prove it except my word be taken. But I know that the girl's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do?
Mr. Paris discovered them sporting in the woods, and they were caught and startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail. Abigail Williams told you it had naught to do with
She
witchcraft?
told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I had not known until now that the world had gone after this nonsense.
Nonsense, mister. I have myself examined Sarah Good, Tituba, and numerous others who have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not? If they should hang for denying it. There are them that will swear to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
I have. I have indeed. And you would testify to this in court.
I had not reckoned with going into the court. But if I must, then I will.
Do you falter here?
I falter nothing, mister. Though I do wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I wonder it when such a steady-minded minister as yourself will suspicion such a woman that has not lied, cannot lie, and the world knows she cannot lie. I may falter somewhat, mister. I am no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me now, for there's a rumor that troubles me. It is said that you hold no belief there may even be witches in this world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I have said. I may have said it. I have always wondered if there be witches in the world, though I cannot say they are among us now.
Then you do not believe.
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible says there are witches, and I will not deny it.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot.
Elizabeth, you bewilder him.
I cannot believe that the devil may own a woman's soul if she keeps an upright way as I have. I am a good woman. I know it. And if you believe that I may do only good in this world and yet still be secretly bound to the devil, then I must tell you, sir, that I cannot believe it.
But woman, you do believe there are witches in the...
If you say that I am one, then I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel. The gospel.
She do not mean to doubt the gospel, sir.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
She do not mean to doubt the gospel, sir. You cannot think it. This is a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and let you go without fail each Sunday to Sabbath prayer. And keep a solemn, quiet way among you. I think...
John?
Giles, what's the matter?
They take my wife. And his Rebecca.
Rebecca's in the jail?
Aye, Shiva come and take her in his wagon. We've just come from the jail now, and they'll not even let us in to see them.
Oh, surely they've gone mad now, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the deputy governor? Surely he mistakes these people.
Pray calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of this church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Corley? She's a very... There's no woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How will Rebecca charge, Mr. Nurse?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, if Rebecca Nurse be tainted, there be nothing left to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send her home, I know it.
You cannot mean she'll be tried in court.
Nurse, while our hearts break, we cannot flinch. These are new times, sir. There's a misty plot afoot so subtle, we would be criminal to cling to old respects and ancient friendships. I've seen too many frightful proofs in court. The devil is alive in Salem. And we dare not quail to follow wherever the accusing finger points.
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember, an hour before devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she were reading books.
Court, exactly what complaint were made on your wife?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charger. You see, he buy a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and it died soon after. So he come dancing in for his money back. My Martha, she said to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, then you'll not live to own many, she says. And now, He go to court and claims that to this day he cannot keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched them with her books.
Good evening to you, Proctor. Why, Mr. Cheever, good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you come not on the business of the court, Mr. Cheever.
I do, Proctor. I am clerk of the court now, you know.
It's a pity, Ezekiel, that an honest tailor might have gone to heaven must burn in hell. You'll burn for this. Do you know it?
You know yourself I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles. And I'd as lief you not be sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it, I tell you. I like not the sound of it. Now, believe me, Proctor, how heavy be the law, all its tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
You said she were not charged.
I know nothing of it. When was she charged?
I am given 16 warrant tonight, sir, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. Now, the court bid me search your house, but I like not to search your house. So will you give me any poppets your wife may keep here?
Poppets?
I never kept no poppets, sir, not since I were a girl.
I spy a poppet, Goody Proctor.
Oh. Why, this is Mary's.
Would you please to give it to me?
Has the court discovered a text in poppets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one either until tonight. What signifies a poppet?
Why, a poppet may Woman, would you please come with me?
She will not. Fetch Mary here.
No, I'm forbidden to leave her from my sight.
You leave her out of sight and out of mind, Mr. Cheever. Fetch Mary Elizabeth.
What signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say it may signify that, why this,
What's there?
Why, it is a needle. Herrick! It is a needle!
What signifies a needle?
Why, this go hard with her, Proctor. I had my doubts, Proctor. I had my doubts. But here's calamity. You see it, sir? It is a needle.
Why? What meaning has it?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner in Reverend Parris's house tonight, and without word nor warning, she fall to the floor, like a struck beast, he says, and screamed a scream that a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her, and stuck 2 inches into the flesh of her belly, he draw a needle out. And demanding of her how she come to be so stabbed, she testify it were your wife's familiar spirit that pushed it in.
Why, she's pushed it in herself. You're surely not taking this as proof, mister.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet that Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it, sir. And in the belly of that poppet, a needle stuck. Now, I tell you true, Proctor, I never warranted to see such proof of hell. And I bid you obstruct me not, for I will not be able to protect you when the...
Mary, come here. How did this poppet come into my house?
What poppet's that, sir?
This poppet!
Why, I believe it is mine, sir.
It is yours, is it not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in court, sir, and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Mary Warren, a needle has been found inside this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
You stuck that needle in yourself.
I did, sir.
What say you now?
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory? May it be perhaps someone conjures you even now to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, sir, I am entirely myself, I think.
I'll let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Bid him be gone. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out, Mr. Hale.
What signifies a needle?
Mary Warren, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no murder.
Abigail were stabbed tonight. A needle were found stuck into her belly.
And she charges me.
Aye.
Why? The girl is murder. She must be ripped out of the world.
You've heard that, sir. Ripped out of the world. Herrick, you heard it.
Oh, out of my house.
Proctor, you dare not touch the warrant. You ripped the deputy governor's warrant, man!
Out of my house! Damn the deputy governor!
Proctor! Proctor!
Oh, bid you be gone with them. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent, the courts will...
If she is innocent? Why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born yesterday as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem, but now the little crazy children are dangling the keys to the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. This warrant is vengeance. I will not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
You will see her taken away.
Proctor, the court is just...
Oh, Pontius Pilate. God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go. Mary, there is bread for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his own daughter. You owe me that, and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will only frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean onto that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will feel nothing. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
Oh, Herrick, don't chain her, man. Don't chain her. Damn you, I will not have her chained.
And yet silent, minister? It is a fraud. You know it is fraud. What keeps you, man?
Oh, I will pay you, Herrick. I will surely pay you.
In God's name, John. I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. I'll let you stay inside this house till I'm gone.
Mr. Proctor.
Out of my house.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard in your wife's favor, I will not fear to testify in court. Dear, but God help me, I cannot judge her guilty or innocent. I know not. Only this consider. The world goes mad, and it profit you nothing to lay the cause on the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's tears, you are a coward. Not
Proctor, I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. Man, we must look to cause proportionate. Were there murder done and never brought to light? Abomination? Some secret blasphemy that sinks to high heaven? Think on cause, man, and help me to discover it. For there is your way, believe it, there is your only way when such confusion strikes the world. You counsel among yourselves. Think on your village, and what may have drawn from heaven such thundering wrath upon you all. I shall pray God open up our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Me, Francis. Leave me.
John, tell me. Are we lost?
Go home, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
You think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go home now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, it's very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You are coming to the court with me, Mary Warren, and you will tell it to the court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell that court how that puppet came into my house and who stuck the needle in.
Abby will kill me for saying that. Don't charge lynchery on you, Mr. Proctor!
She's told you.
I have known it, sir. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We'll slide together into our pit, and you will tell the court what you know.
They'll turn on me. I cannot.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
No, I cannot. I cannot.
No, make your peace. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs, and our old pretense is ripped away. Make your peace.
I cannot, Mr. Proctor. I cannot.
Peace.
I cannot. I cannot.
Days of providence, and no great change. We are what we always were,
I cannot. I cannot.
but naked now. I,
I cannot.
naked. And the wind, God's icy wind, will blow.
I cannot. I cannot. I cannot.